I want to consider how much sun this area gets. This area does get a lot of full afternoon and evening sun, so it's a very, very hot area. I'm going to start with the Nandinas first because these are going to be the biggest. The more plants that I plant, the less I'm going to have an erosion issue. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen, and today is a very exciting day for me because I get to pull from my plants that I have been buying on sale at the end of the season. I'm going to show you how I create a brand new garden bed. This is a small-ish area, but it is a clean slate and it's getting a total redesign. So I thought I would take you along and show you how I create a garden bed from scratch. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Here's the stash of plants that I'm going to be pulling from. I did get some yarrow, some lady's mantle, and I got some sedums yesterday right there. And I still have my boxwoods that I got a couple weeks ago, some different Shasta daisies. I think I have a pretty good selection. I can get the top section of the flower bed pretty much planted up today. The first step is going to be grabbing my plants and placing them in the flower bed where I think I want them to go. Of course, subject to change. I'll be taking a step back, taking a look at where they're going. I want to consider how much sun this area gets. This area does get a lot of full afternoon and evening sun, so it's a very, very hot area. I also want to be aware of the water drainage because we are planting on a slope, so I don't want any erosion. So I want to make sure that I am planting my plants a little closer together. And I want to also add a little bit of ground cover just to hold the soil in place until everything roots in and creates a nice solid underlayer underneath the actual soil, so there will be no erosion. I hope that made sense. I'm gonna grab my plants, take them out front, and we'll go ahead and start planting. Okay, I have all my plants ready to go. I want to go ahead and show you what I think I'm going to be planting in this top tier of this flower bed. So I have two Cool Glow Lime Nandinas, and they get 3x4. I have three of the Meadow Sage Rose Marvel Salvia, and these get 10 to 12 inches tall, so I think these are going to line the walkway. I have two of the sedums. I do know that the sedums are going to be on the corner, at each corner of the rock wall. I have 4 Amazing Daisies May, and these get 12 to 24 inches, so I think these are going to kind of go down towards the front a little bit. I have 2 Speedwell, which are First Glory, and they are 16 to 18 inches tall and wide. These are all full sun perennials that I'm planting. And then last but not least, this is the thing that I am most excited about. I can't even stand it. I've been wanting to get lady's mantle forever. I know it's so weird that I haven't, but I have lady's mantle. So excited. So I have 2 of them. I think that's going to look really good. And that's 12 by 12. So that is all the plants that I got. I am now going to go ahead and lay the plants out how I think they're going to go, and we'll take a step back, review, and see if it's exactly where we want everything to end up. Let's see how all this stuff looks. Let's get it all arranged. Ooh, my hip. I'm going to start with the Nandinas first because these are going to be the biggest, and yes, I will be sinking into the ground. And then the 3 10 to 12 inch Veronica. I hope you can see me. I know I want these 2 sedums at the corner of each section. And the 3 ladies mantle are going to go in the front. And I want these to actually almost spill over. Definitely sinking where I stepped. So my plan for this, even though this is going to be cottage, I want this little section and this section in front to almost be a little more formal in a structure. And then each side of the flower bed will be more cottagey, whimsical. I just want a little bit of structure right in the center. I think that will be a good balance between having a hot mess cottage garden where everything just grows in between one another and having a more formal, structured garden, because I do like both. All right, and this is Speedwell, and this gets pretty tall, so this might be nice to kind of have. I don't know if I want to put them over here or right here. Let me see. I think that will work if I shift things around a little bit. All right. And again, I want this to be really full. So I'm going to pack the plants in. Plus, the more plants that I plant, the less I'm going to have an erosion issue. Plus, I'm going to pull some of the ajuga and I'm going to plant it around here to make sure that everything doesn't erode away. And that ajuga is going to be my winter structure, because this top area isn't going to have any evergreen presence other than the ground cover. This front area is going to be, I believe, boxwoods for the most part. So this will have nice evergreen winter interest. Oh yeah, I think that'd be really nice. Okay, so 1, 2. 3, 4. Okay. All right, I'm going to take the camera, step back, and we'll look at it from all angles. Okay, here's from the sidewalk, walking up. Let me show you from the front door that nobody uses. That fills that up pretty nicely. Okay, let's walk down. Da, da, da. And let's look at it from the front. I think that actually looks pretty darn good. Okay. Are we going to approve this and say yes, yes, yes? Maybe. Okay. All right, I'm gonna grab my shovel, my gloves, my pruners to prune off any of the dead leaves, and I'm going to plant. And I can already see that I messed up and I want this one right here. Duh. Duh. That's okay. Okay. Better. Okay. All right. Now it is very important to note that I am not going to be using any type of fertilizer because this is straight fresh compost. So this stuff is super spicy. It has a lot of energy, and I don't want to fry the plants, which is, it could happen, but I don't think it will, because I've used straight compost in the back beds and I had no problems with any of my plants frying. As long as I keep everything watered and keep an eye on things, we'll be fine. But again, I'm not going to add any additional fertilizers because it does not need it. Okay, let's start with the sedums. Oh, rocks everywhere. Yes, rocks everywhere. Can you see me? I hope so. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And again, if you cannot afford or don't want to deal with bulk compost, wherever you're digging your hole, you can just amend a little bit of compost into the actual hole before you plant the plant in, and it'll do the same thing. Oh, stone. Up here is going to be a little more difficult to dig than down there, because I am going to hit some rocks. I am leaving one tag in the ground because I found that even though I do keep my tags and everything, yeah, it's always good to leave one in the ground, at least for me. Sedums don't like rich soil, so even though I am planting it in compost, there's a chance it could fry. Again, I'm going to keep an eye on it, but on this side, more rocks than compost. So this side should definitely be okay. Sun sparkler, plum dazzled. Okay, good for you. Good for you. Let's get the Shasta daisies in the ground. I'm aware in a couple of years, maybe even next year, these Shasta daisies will have to be moved. I'm perfectly okay with that. For this year, I want to get as much stuff in the ground in this particular bed, again, to reduce erosion throughout the winter months, because it gets really wet and really rainy. So I figure the more plants that I have established in here, the better off this top tier and lower tier will be. You see how this root ball is pretty tight? You can take your shovel, take your pruners, and hack at it if you want. I'm not demure. I am mindful, but I'm not demure. This one I am noticing there are some weeds that are growing in the container. So I am just going to pull those weeds out. Thrive, plants, thrive. You can do it. Maybe a little more up here. Just talking to myself, thinking maybe this plant would be better kicked back up the slope a little more. So that's what I'm doing. Almost don't even need the shovel. You know what? I don't even need the shovel. Now I'm going to grab a hose, wash off the sidewalk, and water everything in. And I'm going to water in these 2 containers real quickly. When I'm watering, I just want to make sure that I am getting at each root ball just to settle in and make sure that there is no air pockets. Let us take a good look and see what all we got accomplished today.
Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.